Hello, it's Jane here. I'm up at the plot like a fool on one of the coldest days we've had in my part of the UK this year, up here in Staffordshire, for my November plot tour. Now, I've got to be honest, if it wasn't for the feathered friends up there in the coop, which I'll show you in a moment, I wouldn't be up here at all. I'd be snuggled down at home, I don't know, maybe baking a cake, more likely drinking a cup of coffee in front of the fire. But no, we've got to come up and see how they are anyway. So while I'm here, I thought I'd show you around. What I didn't expect was that overnight we were going to have this incredible storm, Storm Arwen, which not only rattled through the house all night, but actually ended up dumping quite a bit of snow on us this morning. Now, when I say dumping quite a bit of snow, can I just apologise to those of you over in Europe and the US and Canada, because I realise this isn't a lot of snow in comparison, but it is for us. So it's brought up a few interesting things. It's shown us basically that most of our stuff is tied down pretty well, but also it's shown us little footprints where other creatures have been in the night. So along here, for example, when Mike came up first thing to check the chickens, there was a very definite little line of foxy footprints. So in one way it's a bit worrying because we know that there's been a fox around, but we're on an allotment, the foxes anyway. The good news is that the chickens are all safe and the foxes weren't able to get in. So yes, the snow has revealed more than it's covered up, I think. But look, I'll show you around and show you first of all the tiny bit of damage that we had, and then we'll just see if we can see anything else that's growing. So yeah, let's get warmed up. The first thing I noticed when I came up was this trellis with the honeysuckle is down, so I don't know if you can appreciate the jaunty angle from here, but yeah, it's come completely forward. Obviously the honeysuckle on this side has acted as a bit of a sail and brought it off. Now what I need to check is whether these legs will need just popping back in the soil, or whether they've actually snapped off at the base. But it's an easy job. It's not a job for today, but that's something that we can deal with. That's fine. And the only other damage that I'm aware of is this poor little rose here in a pot that needed repotting anyway, has fallen over. So yeah, even though the storm sounded horrendous last night, obviously we've got quite a bit of shelter where we are here at the allotment, because we've got the big trees at the back, mind you. Then you've got let me see if I can show you, you've got the worry about the branches coming down, but you've got all those trees at the back acting as a bit of a windbreak, and you've also got some trees down the side. So in a way we're fairly sheltered, but fingers crossed we're not going to come across too much else. Greenhouse number 1, nothing going on. Okay, yeah, that's all ready really for spring, I would say. Now usually this has been left in a right tip after the last harvest, sort of mid to end of October time, but this year it's all ready because we've been coming up. So yeah, nothing in it, but it's tidy. Let's show you greenhouse number 2. Okay, not so tidy, but just a few leaves and the last of the grapes. These grapes, I mean, people will say, why on earth haven't you picked them all? We have picked that many. We have given some away. We have given loads to the chickens, but we have just had such a huge harvest this year, so I've been really, really lucky with them. So they're heading for a massive pruning this year, and maybe have a bit of a rest next year. But yeah, the beds, believe it or not, I know they look a bit messy now, but they've been cleared, and they're going to get topped up with some fresh compost ready for planting in next year. Fruit cage, can you believe this weather? Oh, mind you, I'm saying that, but we've still been getting raspberries up until a few days ago. Let's see if you can see that one. But they're good to leave for the birds. These are the autumn raspberries. I'm going to leave these for another month or so and then cut them right back down to the ground. And then at the end there you can see the currants have completely shed their leaves, and the goosegogs are on their way as well. So again, nothing to see. These are just going to wait here now until January, when there'll be a good old pruning session going on. Dahlias, oh my word, I hope they're okay. I haven't managed to get them all up. Clearly I'm not going to take them up today, but yeah, it might be that I mulch them all and cross my fingers and hope for the best, but ideally I do want to dig them up and store them for over winter, because they were just gorgeous this year. Nothing to show in the onion bed, unsurprisingly, but if we look over here at the garlic, I think, let's just have a look. We haven't got anything yet from the messidor. Saying that, there might be something under the snow. Oh, can you hear the snow squeaking under my feet? I love that sound. But the Casablanca and the violet, or the violet, and what's this one at the end? Let's just have a look. Oh, let me see. Oh, that's violet again. They're coming up. They're all coming up beautifully. So yeah, and we all know that this weather is brilliant for garlic. So they're up, they're obviously established. They're going to slow right on down now over the winter, and hopefully give us a good crop next year. I say hopefully because this year's was awful. So yeah, let's just see what's going on over there while I'm here. I shall walk and talk. Oh yes, this was another thing actually. Oh, we can't see them because of the snow. The broad beans are up. Let's see if we can find Mr. Bean. Here we go. Oh, hello Mr. Bean, how you doing? What do you think of this snow? Poor old thing, look at him. I took a grand photo of him the other day. He looked all majestic. Now he just looks a bit chilly. But yeah, if you there's one. There's one. Here's one here. Where are we? There. So they are coming up. You know, they're hardy things. These are Aquadulce Claudia. So they're meant to be very hardy. So this weather will test them. Obviously, they're fresh leaves coming up. So what they think about this this cold snap, I don't know. And then in this side, we appear to have an onion. Can you see that? Oh, we appear to have a helicopter. We appear to have an onion there. Not quite sure why that's there. I think I planted some, but I can't remember. Oh yes, I did. Electric onions. Hold on. Yeah, so these are electric onions, and we have one. Mind you, I don't know if that's an onion. We'll soon find out. But yeah, they're under there. They're ready to come. In the... Oh, look at that. It looks like a broccoli prison, doesn't it? But in the next bed, we've got the broccoli. We really do need to take that net off now. I mean, it's not like it's going to get whitefly now. That's the good thing about a cold snap, is it hopefully gets rid of all the little bugs, because honestly, we were picking it up until about a week ago and it had whitefly on it. But it does provide a nice winter food for the pigeons. So even if we don't completely unnet them, we certainly need to get a bigger one, because they're looking a bit cramped in there. But they look quite Christmassy, don't they? Basically nothing. So if you watch the last video, you'll see that's where I planted or sowed some green manure. This is cardboard. That was going to be cardboard, but as yet is still blue tarpaulin with bricks on top. It'll probably stay like that now, if I'm honest. And in the distance you can see some lovely chard, which again looks very, very Christmassy with the snow on top. And what we're not enjoying, the chickens certainly are. It's difficult really to tell what's what, isn't it? Even though I know what's under there, I still have to stop and think. But this bit here of white and mud is strawberries, and that bit there was the bean bed. So you'll see I've still got a few canes there to put in, but yeah, all the beanstalks are being left on the top, and whenever the weather allows we will just chop them and then either cover them with something else or just leave them to rot down, because by the time that bed gets planted up again, we've got another, where are we now, November, another good 5 months for for that to sort itself out, or for us to sort it out. So yeah, that'll be okay. I'm not in a rush to sort anything out there. Onwards and upwards. Now, I know this bit looks a bit of a mess, but it's interesting actually, because if you compare that to the beds behind, there's no snow on here, and it looks like very little, well, it looks like it's been damaged, but that's just because it needs tidying up. But it just goes to show that the hedges and the trees at the back have acted as such a good windbreak. Hold on, here comes Rocky and Mike, trying to stay out of shot but not doing it very well at all. Are you cold, Mike?
Just walking slowly. A bit cold.
There they go. Never work with dogs and Mike. Again, I'm not going to go, I am. This is how my mind works. Let me just show you what's under here. It's some really raggedy, taggety kale. Okay, but it is that beautiful, beautiful purple kale. And I'm not too bothered about how that looks at the moment, because that will keep going over the winter. And if you haven't grown kale before, it's just one of those staples. You can freeze it, you can roast it, you can just add it to anything. And a lot of people say they don't like the taste. It's too, let me just put that bit back. It's too severe, but I love it. I really would give it a try. And if we look at the rows behind, you can tell we love kale because we've got more kale there. We've got parsnips here, which again, another good winter crop. Now they have been absolutely beautiful. Let me just turn the camera around like that. They have looked really healthy on top. Whether they are going to be healthy when we dig them up, we will find out, but looking forward to having some good parsnips this year. And then at the end, look at this poor old saggy taggy thing. This poor old net. But if you look underneath, guess what's under here? Yes, more kale. And again, okay, we haven't got rows, sorry, more bricks in the way, rows of beautifully manicured kale. But I tell you what, we've got enough for us, and not just for us, we've got enough for the chickens as well. So yeah, grow kale, it's fab. Speaking of which, there they are, look at them. What a motley crew. I'm gonna, oh bless them. Yeah, those bits of wood have blown over, although they're probably really enjoying the fact they've blown over because they love anything that's slightly different in their plot. I'm going to go in and move those, and then I'm going to sit down in the polytunnel and have a chat because I'm bloomin' freezing. Just the one today, which at this time of year, in this weather, is an absolute gift. Right, I hope you can see me. I've got a chicken here to warm me up. It's absolutely perishing. I mean, seriously, my hands are red now. Are you okay, Lady Mary? You've got that lovely little feathery duvet on, haven't you? Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, that's it. And one of the reasons it was a short one, I agree it's a short one, and that's, you know, a blessing in many ways. But yeah, it's so blooming cold. I mean, there's not a lot growing. But what's really interesting for me, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe you'll find this interesting, I think this is possibly the first time I've done a November tour, because we don't come up, and I've said it many a time, we tend to leave the plot to itself over winter because, well, as you can see, there's not a lot going on. But because, yeah, and then we come back around about February when we're seed sowing and want to get the greenhouse sorted and all that sort of stuff. So it tends to have a couple of months off. Excuse me, Lady Mary. But obviously, because of these little chooks, these little feathery fellas here, we're coming up, and even though we could leave them for a few days, they've got their automatic door, they always have enough food for a few days, I like seeing them. And even when the weather's like this, I love coming up. And I said before, meeting this little one, I don't know why it is, she's the scrattiest little thing. I mean, the fact she's called Lady Mary is a bit of ironic really, but you know, she's going through her molt, she's an elderly lady. She's just so sweet. She always seems to enjoy having a tickle. She might not, you know, she might hate it and she just sits there quietly, but no, she just falls asleep on me, and that's nice. And so apart from that, obviously there's the other thing, which is the eggs. Excuse me, I've got an icy frog in my throat. So yeah, so we do, one or other of us comes up on a daily basis just to see them, to check they're okay. Like I said before, it was really interesting seeing those little foxy footprints that had been left behind, because much as I, you know, absolutely adore foxes, their natural thing, if they see a chicken, they want to eat it because they need food. So yeah, we've got to protect these little fellas. We've got to protect whatever we can, don't we? So yeah, we need to check they're okay. But yeah, so that means, so the bonus of coming up in November and coming up over the last few weeks where we wouldn't have been, is we're actually that much further ahead than we would have been any other year. In that, just for example, the greenhouse is now ready. Usually, as I say, we'd come back in about February, and it would be a case of tidying it all up, going through the pots, chucking out dead plants, that sort of thing. It's done. It's done. I mean, I was saying this, you come back in February and it'll just, you know, there'll be a ton of other stuff to do. I mean, if you look around me here, this is a mess. We've got that much stuff to take to the tip. We're currently, I don't know if you can see slightly off camera, there's my drill there and a couple of shells. We're making some log stores at home. So, you know, it's not like we're sitting back and not doing anything. There's still stuff to do, there's always stuff to do. And of course, winter is the time to get your indoor jobs done. Any construction jobs that you can get done that you'd be too busy to do over the spring and summer months, now's the time to do them. Did you hear that dog? You did, didn't you? You're all right there, I've got you. So yeah, this is it. I'm cold. I hope you're all tucked up nice and warm. I am certainly going to be going home. I don't think I'm going to stay and do any gardening. I think I'm going to go home and sit in front of the fire, like I said before, and I don't know, this sort of day makes me feel like cooking, baking, doing something cosy and indoorsy. So I will say farewell to these, give them a nice handful of corn because that'll keep them nice and warm, and say farewell to you. Come along to the Facebook group, come along to Instagram, all that other stuff I say at the end of every video. All the links are down below. And I hope you're all well, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now. You can say bye, Lady Mary. She's a chicken.